Hello, dear children. Good morning. Welcome back to the class of biology. Today we'll continue with the last part of the chapter number 7, that is diversity in living organisms. I hope till now you have understood about the classification of all living organisms under the kingdom, plant kingdom and the animal kingdom. Now we come to the last part of the classification of kingdom Animalia, and we had gone through the hierarchy or the classification of the animal kingdom, under which the phylum Porifera, Coelenterata, Platyhelminthes, Nematoda, Annelida, Arthropoda, Mollusca, Echinodermata, Protochordata and Vertebrata were talked about and discussed. Today we will go into detail about the phylum Vertebrata. Now when we talk about Vertebrata or the Chordata or the animals which are vertebrates, these animals have a true vertebral column and internal skeleton, allowing a completely different distribution of muscles attachment points to be used for movement. So here the animals, they have an internal skeleton and they have a vertebral column, and the muscles are distributed in such a way that helps in the movement for animals. Now describing the characteristics of the vertebrates, they are bilaterally symmetrical, trypoplastic, coulamic and segmented. Now we have gone through all these words in the previous phylums also, but still let me repeat that they are bilaterally symmetrical, tri means 3 and trypoplastic. Coulamic means having a cavity, and segmented means divided into many parts with complex differentiation of body tissues and organs. All chordates possess the following features. Now let us see what features do the vertebrates possess. They are notochord. We have discussed about what is notochord. Then they have a dorsal nerve cord. Now this is new for you. So in the next slide I will explain what is the meaning of dorsal nerve cord. They are trypoplastic. They have a paired gill pouches and they are columate. Columate means having cavity. Now when we mean to say dorsal, dorsal relates to the back or the posterior of a structure, the back part. So when we talk about ventral, the ventral word is opposite to dorsal. So ventral means front of the structure. So when we talk about the dorsal surfaces of the body, then they are the back, our back, the buttocks, the calves. Calves are the back part of the legs, and the knuckle sides of the hand, the back of the fingers, the things that are present on the back side of the hand, that is the knuckle. Okay, so when we talk about the nerve cord is a term that can refer to either the single hollow fluid filled dorsal tract of the nervous tissue, that is one of the defining characteristics of chordates. So this defines the chordates. तो यही एक specific thing है जो ये फाइलम को, ये chordates को दूसरे फाइलम के ऑर्गेनिज्म से अलग बनाता है. So it is termed as the dorsal nerve cord, and it develops into the spinal cord and brain of the vertebrates. Or when we talk about the ventral nerve cord, it is a typical solid ventral double row of nerve fibers, and these nerve fibers are found in some phyla of invertebrates, that is the ventral nerve cord. But when we talk about the vertebrates, when we talk about the animals belonging to the phylum Vertebrata, then they have the dorsal nerve cord. Now the vertebrates they are grouped into 5 classes, and these 5 classes, now see, first was the kingdom, under kingdom comes the phylum, and under phylum comes the class. So this is the hierarchy. So what are the different 5 classes? The Pisces, Amphibia, Reptilia, Aves and Mammalia. Now let's go into detail about these classes. Pisces, when we talk about the class Pisces, their body is streamlined and has fins and tail for swimming. So these are the characteristics which signifies or identifies the animals belonging to this class. Their skin is covered with scales. Now when I give you hints like this, you will understand, and just imagine in your mind what kind of animal this will be. Their skeleton can be made up of bone or cartilage. Their intake of oxygen is by gills. They are cold-blooded animals and they have the two-chambered heart. So in their body the two-chambered heart is present. Example, yes, you guessed it right. The examples are fishes like rohu, tuna and shark. So these are the animals which belong to the class Pisces. The next class is the amphibia. They are adapted to live both on land and on water. So what are those animals which live on land and water called? They are amphibians and they belong to the class amphibia. Their respiration, the mode of respiration is through either gills or lungs. So when they live in water, they breathe through gills. The animals that live in water, they breathe through gills. Not all, but some of them. And on land, they breathe through gills. There is an exception when we talk about the frog. When it's outside, it breathes through its lungs, and when it is inside the water, it breathes through with the help of the moist skin. Okay, now for the amphibians, the three-chambered heart is present. So the examples of these animals are frogs, toads and salamander. There are many other examples also, but I have just listed 3. Frog, toad and salamander. We come to the third class, that is the reptilia. Now these are crawling animals and the skin is rough and modified to withstand extreme temperatures. The heart is 3-chambered in most, while 4-chambered in crocodiles. So see, here also there are exceptions. In some of the reptiles the heart is 3-chambered, whereas in others it is 4-chambered. These are cold-blooded animals, and examples of the animals belonging to the class reptilia are lizards, turtles, snakes and many other. So here you can see the figure of these creatures. Okay, now we move on to the next class, that is the aves. Aves belongs to the birds. And what is the place where these birds are kept? Aviary. Okay, so the body of these aves or the animals belonging to the class aves are covered with feathers, and the forelimbs are modified for flying. So they are modified into wings. They breathe through lungs. These animals are warm-blooded animals, and in them the 4-chambered heart is present. Examples are sparrow, eagle, crow, parrot and almost all the birds. So this was about the class aves. Now we move on to the 5th classification of the class, that is the mammalia. So from the name itself we come to know that they are mammals, and through their mammary glands, the mammary glands that are present in these animals, they produce milk to nurture their young ones. So they give birth to their young ones. They don't produce eggs or they don't lay eggs. Their skin is covered with hair and has sweat glands. And why do they have sweat glands? In order to remove the waste from the body. And sebaceous glands. What are sebaceous glands? A sebaceous gland is a microscopic exocrine. Exo means outside. So exocrine gland in the skin that opens into a hair follicle. We know that we have hair on the body, or the mammals, all these mammals have hair on the body. Now why it is present? Now this secretes an oily or waxy matter called sebum. So this lubricates. Lubricate means oiling जिसे कहते हैं. So it makes it soft, it makes it oily. So it lubricates the hair and skin of mammals. So this is all about the mammals. In addition, the mammals are warm-blooded animals and they have 4-chambered heart. Most animals are viviparous. Now what do we mean by viviparous? Viviparous means they give birth to the live young ones. So they give birth to the young ones, whereas some are oviparous. Now what do we mean by oviparous? Oviparous are those which produces eggs. Now there are exceptions in mammals. Not all mammals give birth to their young ones. There are exceptions in which the mammals, they lay eggs. Okay, now for example, when we talk about mammals, the examples are man, horse, kangaroo, lion, and there are many more examples. So this was all about the class Mammalia. Here we come to the end of the animal kingdom, and we also end up with the lesson. So here the diversity in living organism chapter number 7 gets over. Now I would like you to go through the lesson once again, and if you really find any difficulty in any part of the chapter, please feel free to ask me anytime, and have a good day. Thank you.